Today we're talking about being honest. That's a topic that a lot of us, a lot of people have an issue with in terms of like just being honest. But I want to kind of spin the conversation, right? And I want to go from the aspect of being honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Hey, welcome to another video. Welcome to the channel. This is the Bojoul channel, the home of self-care, wellness, beauty, and any and everything that you can do and figure out to try to become the best version of you. I am grateful to be here this morning. I'm excited, and I just want to jump right into our topic. Today we're talking about being honest. That's a topic that a lot of us, a lot of people have an issue with in terms of like just being honest. But I want to kind of spin the conversation, right? And I want to go from the aspect of being honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. A lot of times when we're doing things and we are making plans to do different things in our life and go to different levels in our life. And what happens is, a lot of times we don't even believe ourselves because we know our routine has been that we say things and we don't do them. We say things to ourselves and we know that we haven't done it. As a matter of fact, we have a long laundry list of actionable tasks that we should have done, but we never did. So now moving forward, when we say that we're going to do something, you don't even really believe yourself subconsciously. I was speaking to someone the other day, and it's very interesting that we live life kind of on two levels, maybe more, but two for the sake of this conversation. We're conscious and subconscious. So whereas on that subconscious level, right, a lot of times we have this dissonance, this cognitive dissonance, that there's a fight, there's a struggle between subconscious and conscious because we know what we actually do and what we want to do. They don't coincide with one another. And so what happens is we begin to doubt ourselves. We begin not to believe ourselves. And if you don't believe yourself, it doesn't even matter who else believes you. Your first order of business is to make sure that you believe you and you agree with you. And one of the ways that we do that is just execution. Sometimes we talk so much about certain things and we never take a step on it. And before you know it, it has been times, I will be transparent. It has been times in my life I have made a plan to do certain things, right? And I promise you, like 2 years passed and I never took a step towards it. But it was really in my consciousness to do it. But I never like wrote out a plan. One step, you know what I'm saying? One step at a time. And that's what we do too. We look at this thing as an entire picture instead of saying, I'm going to take one step at a time and I'm going to take this thing a little by little. We try to look at it collectively, like as a whole picture, and we get overwhelmed. And so consciously we're saying we're going to do it, but subconsciously it's too overwhelming and we never really take the step. So I've been there and I have done it. And I'm very conscious moving forward in my life that the things that I say coincide with my actions. If I say I want to do X, Y, Z, I start taking baby steps. Even if, it doesn't seem like I'm moving forward, I try my best to make like an actionable plan, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what I need to do. And each week I'm looking at that list to say, hey, what can I tackle? And some weeks I'm so consumed, I'm so busy with everything else, I still try to do at least one or even a half of thing on that list because I need to be moving forward. And so if you don't believe yourself, that's a problem. If you don't believe later about what everybody else feel, you have to be a person when you say something, not only if you can't believe yourself, you know that no one else believes you, right? And this is a major issue in our self-care journey. Because in your self-care journey, we're going to say that we're going to do so many things across the board. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. We have to exercise, we have to eat well, we have to spend more time with our families, we have to rest better. And as you're saying it, because you are a person that hasn't made good on most of the things that you set out to do, you don't really believe yourself. You're not going to say that outright, but it doesn't matter whether you say it. When your consciousness and your subconsciousness has a disconnect, things don't really get done. Even though it may look like you're doing things to other people, it's not really getting done because on the deeper level of yourself, you don't even believe you. So I just wanted to encourage you today, right? Pay attention to what you say and what you really believe. It really does matter. It really does matter. And guess what? None of us are getting younger. From the time that you're born, your aging process begins. And you begin to age. Time passes, and the energy and the motivation that you had to do certain things, it kind of leaves and goes in different directions. And so I wanted to say that when you set out to do certain things, first of all, like I always say, commit it to God. Sometimes, well, I'm not even going to say sometimes, all the time. Oftentimes, a lot of the things that you're trying to do, you need help from God to do it. Because within ourselves, sometimes we don't even have the fortitude as of yet to do anything. But when you commit your plans and you commit what you want to do to God, He will give you a power that you don't have yourself, if you're serious. And this is not even about, sometimes when you mention God and you mention things like that, people think you're trying to be like airy and fairy, but it's real. A lot of things in this world is much bigger than us. I have to stop and tell myself that many, many times, like, calm down and just stop. Commit your plans unto God and He will work that thing out for you. A lot of us have been working on things for years and it seems like we can't it looked like we're making progress and then all of a sudden there's no progress being made. I promise you, when you commit your plans to God, you begin to connect that because what happens is God confirms in you who you are, what you are. And on your deeper level, you begin to believe and you begin to understand who you really, really are. Not what other people say that you are, but you begin to believe and begin to understand who you really, really are and the power that you really do have. And so moving forward towards certain goals is not that serious because now on a deeper level, you got it. And that's what's most important. On that subconscious level, on that spirit level, you have it. I got it. And even though it may not look like it immediately, I promise you, when you get it on that deeper level, things that you put your hands to do is going to work out. And make sure, here's another thing. I just want to add this as a caveat. Make sure the things that you're doing is in alignment with who you are and your purpose. A lot of things that we do, sometimes we are disaligned with our purpose and our values. So you're working to do some certain things and they're not even aligned with who you are essentially or who God has really made you to be. It's like you're out of order. So, and again, that's why I prefaced the conversation. Commit it to God. It makes it so much easier. He knows where you're going. He knows how to get there. We scratching our head trying to figure out what's our next move. But he knows every single move before we even need to make it. And he knows every person strategically to align you with that journey. I don't know why it take us so long to kind of captivate that idea. It's almost like we have this narcissism within us or this arrogance within us, like we know so much and we have so much skills, but you really don't have anything apart from God. You really don't. And this is a self-care channel, but I always bring God into this channel because the care of yourself, you always got to go back to the manual or the maker of yourself. It's hard for me to take care of myself without referring to God and his plan for me or for you. You know what I mean? So, self-care is definitely the best care. And understanding who you really are is going to give you a leap forward in completely accomplishing the task that you have set out to do. So, yeah, just be honest with yourself. Be honest. You can lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to yourself. Because when you lie to yourself, the things you're doing is falling in the cracks because you don't believe that you can really do it anyway, subconsciously. So, yeah, believe yourself. Believe in your word. Be honest with yourself. And yep, that is it. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is the Bojoul channel, the home of self-care, wellness, beauty, and anything to help you to become a greater and more powerful version of yourself. I thank you for joining us. And again, remember that self-care is the best care. Later.